In September 1996, you could buy a Pokémon card from a vending machine in Japan. The Pokémon trading card game did not exist yet. This is one of them, a Charizard, printed before almost anyone outside Japan had heard the word Pokémon. These are the Bandai Cardist cards, the first Pokémon cards ever made, and the reason the ones you know exist at all. To understand them, you have to understand the machine they came out of, because Pokémon did not invent it. Pokémon was a latecomer to it. Bandai put the first cardist machines on Japanese streets in July 1988, 8 years before any of this. The very first cards they dispensed were Saint Seiya. Dragon Ball followed that November and became a phenomenon of its own. So when Pokémon arrived, it was not a new idea being tested. It was a proven machine, already installed outside shops across Japan, already trusted by kids with coins in their pockets. And they were not made by Nintendo or by the company that would later publish the card game. They were made by Bandai, the toy giant, in September 1996. The official names were Cardist 100 Pocket Monster Green Part 1 and Red Part 2. The name itself is stranger than it looks. Cardist takes its ending from Amadeus, Japan's automated meteorological data acquisition system, the country's weather station network. Bandai's reasoning was that weather stations gather and spread information. They wanted kids to gather around the machines, talk, and spread information about the cards. The machine was designed to start conversations, not just sell cardboard. You put in 20 yen or 100 and turned a knob. Out came a single card or a stack of 5. No packs, no boxes, no booster wrappers. And they were sold in Japan only. If you grew up anywhere else, these cards simply did not exist for you. Now, what was actually in the machines? Set the scene. Pokémon Red and Green had launched in Japan in February 1996. By that September, the games were barely 7 months old. There was no anime yet, and outside Japan, almost nobody knew the name. Part 1 held 78 unique cards. Part 2 held 80. Together, those two sets covered all 151 original Pokémon. Every card came in 2 colors, a red version and a green version, mirroring Pokémon Red and Pokémon Green, the 2 games Japan actually got. And the art was not made for the cards. It was Ken Sugimori's early watercolor work, the same illustrations used across the original game's materials. The look that defined what Pokémon was supposed to feel like. Here is the Pikachu. Soft edges, painted texture, nothing like the sharp digital art the franchise uses today. And the starters, painted the same way, years before anyone thought to call them chase cards. This was just how Pokémon looked back then. Look at the line work. Hand-painted, slightly uneven, warm. Compare it to the razor-sharp digital illustrations on a modern chase card, and you are looking at 2 different crafts entirely. And here is the part that surprises people. These were never a game. No hit points, no attacks, no energy costs, no rules. They were art cards with a monster, a number, and a description. Pure collecting. 11 of the cards hid something extra. Their backs carried unique illustrations by Benimaru Ito, a detail most collectors never notice. Then, on October 20th, 1996, 1 month later, Media Factory launched the Pokémon trading card game. Cards you could actually play with. That is the line the world remembers, the one that leads to base set and to Charizard 4 of 102. 1 month. That is the entire margin. It is the difference between being the first Pokémon cards ever printed and being the first Pokémon cards anyone remembers. Cardist did not stop there. Parts 3 and 4 arrived in 1997 with another 153 cards. Then the anime series, across 1998 and 1999, exploded to 360. And in 2000, Gold and Silver added another 136. The turning point was April 1st, 1997. The Pokémon anime premiered in Japan, and the whole franchise changed gear. Suddenly, the cards were not illustrating a video game roster. They were illustrating a show that millions of kids watched every week. Bandai followed it hard. The anime series, across 1998 and 1999, ran to 360 cards, more than double anything before it. and by far the biggest set of the entire Cardis era. The line ran for 4 years, tracking the anime as it went, and pulling in the cards collectors would chase decades later. Mutwo, of course, among them. The last chapter came in 2000. Gold and silver, 136 cards, arriving alongside the second generation of games. After that, the Pokémon Cardis story effectively closes. Added up, and the Cardis era printed over 800 cards, while the trading card game was still finding its feet. Which brings us to the question this channel exists to answer. What are they worth today? Start at the bottom. A common Cardis, a Golbat, a Weedle, something nobody chases, starts around $4. 30 years old, and cheaper than a booster pack. The famous faces cost more. A Pikachu starts around $40. A Mutwo, around $75. But the real money is not in the normal cards at all. It is in the prisms. A fraction of the run was printed on holographic prism foil, and those are what collectors actually hunt. Same artwork, completely different market. And then there is the prism. The holographic version of Charizard, card number 6, is the grail of the whole era. Listings start near $300, and the typical asking price sits around $800. Graded, it moves into another bracket entirely. A PSA 9 of that Charizard Prism is listed at $6,550. One caveat, and it matters. These are asking prices, what sellers want a day, not confirmed sales. Treat them as a range, not a valuation. If you do go looking, 3 things decide what you are actually holding. Is it Prism or plain? Which series and number it carries, because the same Pokémon was printed across several years. And whether the Cardis and Bandai markings are there at all. That's second. And this is the other end of it. A Golbat, from the same year, the same machine, the same artist. For dollars. Scarcity is not about age. It is about which monster is on the front. There is a reason these prices swing so hard. Vintage Japanese cards trade thinly. A handful of listings, weeks between sales, and one motivated buyer can move the whole picture. That is not a market. It is a queue. So why does any of this matter? For years, almost nobody cared. Cardis was Japan only. It was not a game, and the collecting world was busy chasing base set. These cards sat in binders and shoeboxes while the record prices went to the cards that came after them. That has been changing. The clearest sign is grading. When a 30-year-old Japanese vending machine card starts showing up in PSA slabs, listed in the thousands, it means the serious end of the hobby has finally come looking. Because every Pokémon card that came after, the base set Charizard, the Pikachu Illustrator, the $16.5 million record, sits on top of these. Cardis is the first printed chapter of the entire franchise. And the art still holds up. Painted, handmade, unmistakably of its moment. And there is something almost absurd about the numbers. The first Pokémon cards ever made, 30 years old, still start at $4. The hobby spent 3 decades bidding up what came next, and mostly walked past what came first. A toy company put painted cards in a weather station-inspired vending machine, asked kids to gather around and trade information, and accidentally printed the first chapter of the biggest media franchise on Earth. That is Cardis. Follow for the Pokémon market every week. Prices here are the lowest active listings, not financial advice.